all seen the sometimes in-your-face product placement in movies or reality shows. So the concept of branded entertainment is not totally new. Head of At Play at Saatchi and Saaatchi, Allan Kent, is in our Cape Town studios. But before we get to Allan, Group MD of Brand Alive, Giles Shepherd, is this week's guest host. Welcome, Giles.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Welcome, Allan. Tell us, what classifies branded entertainment?
It's where you're trying to get your brand or your product associated with some kind of entertainment or content. So, as you said, it started out with product placement, getting your brand seen in some part of a story, but it started evolving where it's not so much in your face, where it's not kind of shouting the brand out there, where it's starting to be that the brand is actually bringing you the story, or the brand is becoming part of the story. So it's becoming a lot more authentic in terms of how it's integrated with the content and the story.
Can you share some case studies with us?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there's a load that come from overseas. It started out, the first real online one that we saw was BMW. They did the hire in about 2001. There have been some really nice ones recently. A great one is Gatorade did something called Replay. They have their brand positioning is around there is no small game. So what they did is they found two American football teams that have been playing the same game of football, or playing football against one another every Thanksgiving for about 100 years. And in the kind of early 90s, they played a game. It was contested. It was a contested draw. Was that a touchdown? Did you convert the goal? Kind of thing. And so they got the original teams together from that game in 1994, whatever it was. Put them through 10 weeks of intensive training, because obviously now it's, they're kind of in their mid-30s, not prime football material anymore. But then they did more than that. They reached out to the community. So they went and found the original cheerleaders. They went and found the original marching band, really making it, connecting back out to the community. And then they created an actual piece of content around this game. They replayed the game. It was an actual event. It was successful. They had, all 10,000 tickets were sold out in 90 minutes. So it was really authentic to the Gatorade, to what Gatorade was. They were bringing the entertainment, and what that content and what that entertainment was really compelling, and it tied it closely to the brand. It wasn't a force fit in terms of how we were trying to get the two to talk to one another.
Allan, was that television-based entertainment then? Was that screened on television?
It was originally web-based. I believe it has been picked up. I think Fox overseas. They're now busy with season 2, but it was primarily it was run from as a webisode online, and then they tapped into kind of social networks like Facebook. So they asked people to get involved with the campaign through Facebook. People use Facebook to connect with friends and from school they haven't seen in 20, 30 years, and they used Facebook as a platform to say, find your original sports team lineup. Find them all, get them in one place, connect with them, and then tell us about the games that you would like to replay. So they've used it as a platform for kind of building more content going forward.
So would you be correct then in saying it's taking relevant sponsorship as we used to know it and extending the reach and making multi-platform and interactive environments out of relevant sponsorships, really?
Yeah, I think in this case it goes a lot further beyond sponsorship. It's not Gatorade saying let's sponsor a game. It's Gatorade saying let's create a game that's true to our brand, and how do we extend it into all the different other media channels that are available to us, so that we can actually get past the clutter and we're actually creating something that's going to attract people to our content and to engage with our brand, rather than kind of pushing our messages out towards them all the time.
Well, Giles, do you have mixed feelings about this?
No, I don't. I think that sort of thing is definitely the future of getting brand messages across. I think my sense is that consumers are tired of just Standard Bank brings you cricket, and this brand brings you that, and so on. Brands struggle to find things to sponsor that are in some way relevant to them, because what's relevant to a bank? I mean, how do you associate cricket to a bank, or I think it's easier when it's Westbank and motorsport, but still you're trying to struggle to make those links. So definitely finding ways on multiple platforms to engage a consumer with your brand and get them involved is definitely the future of getting people to feel something about you. Yeah. That's the purpose of a brand, make people feel something.
But you don't think it's going to form cliques eventually? of associations, like sports can be only associated with X, Y, and Z, etc.?
No, well, I think that, I mean, I don't understand the brand. You said it's Gatorade that was the brand?
Yeah, it's like a Powerade here.
Okay. No, I think, I don't think it'll form cliques in any way that hasn't already been the case. I suppose those cliques have already been formed historically. The big banks tended to sponsor the big sporting events.
It's just going to take it further progressively.
Who's got how much money versus how much money does it cost? I think it's going to develop a lot more brand relevance. I don't know if you...
Well, Allan, what happens then to the traditional 30-second ad? You know, traditional marketing.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's all still relevant, and you see in online campaigns, you definitely see an uptake in the engagement and the sort of the amount of traffic that you get in an online campaign when there is traditional advertising running concurrently. It may not be that it's pushing people to go and engage, like seeing it on the TV or seeing a print ad, but it's certainly it's getting it top of mind, and it's that brand awareness that pushes people towards consideration, so that when they encounter something online, that they'll recognize it and they'll have already made that association, and then they're more likely to go and connect with it and engage there.
It's one of the benefits of our online social network-based community system that's growing, isn't it? That you these days have the opportunity, as you say, the 30-second TV commercial still has its place, but now you can do a whole lot more with it.
Well, isn't it about an integrated strategy rather than just, you know,
and it's
online versus traditional?
Correct. So you can create that recognition and familiarity in a multitude of different places around
across all mediums.
Well, Allan, just before we go, how receptive do you think the rest of Africa will be to branding entertainment?
I mean, we've had a lot of success with branded entertainment in Africa in the past. I mean, we did it for Guinness in the sort of like late 90s. We ran a campaign that was essentially branded entertainment that ran for 6 years with huge success in Nigeria, Kenya, and Cameroon. And we're running campaigns now that are effectively branded entertainment, where we're using a platform of entertainment and the brand is bringing that entertainment, but it's completely 100% relevant for the brand. So it's a great way of getting out there. It's delivering content. People are always going to want to engage with content. They always want something to go and watch and be entertained by. So, and if you can include your brand in that in an authentic way that makes sense, then it's going to have a great association for you.
Authenticity, big thing.